Reset button.
And we're back.
We are
Reset
back.
button episode. Yeah.
Episode 24. Tannen, we already tried to record this once, like a week or so ago, and to no avail, but we are back. We got it right this time. It's been a minute. It's been like 2 weeks. Had a little hiatus, but the reset button is back. I have no fear. Tannen, how you been since our little vacay, I guess? You've seen Tim and Eric, all sorts of goodness we're going to talk about on this episode. But what's going on, man? Welcome back.
Oh, yeah. I had a great vacation. Then I had bronchitis as soon as I was done vacation. So that kind of balanced out, but I had to work sick. It sucked ass. But I am healthy. I'm better now. I've come back. I've definitely come back. But yeah, I had a great vacation. As you said, saw Tim and Eric live at the Lincoln Theater. An amazing show. I'd give it 5 hot wet kisses out of 5 hot wet kisses. It's it's definitely Tim and Eric. It's like going to a live version of the awesome show with some little extras. They definitely treated you for, taking the effort, buying the ticket, just all that magical good sketches and everything. But a lot of it actually at the end of it had to actually stand and take an oath and promised I wasn't going to tell my mom and promised I wasn't going to tell my dad. And I didn't promise I wasn't going to tell the reset button, but I'm going to go ahead and stick to the oath. But anybody that's a Tim and Eric fan, you are in store for something very special this coming year. I will put it that way. But yeah, other than that, it was great. We did get to see stuff like the newest episode of Bedtime Stories, so we did get to see that. So it was kind of like, when you go to a Comic-Con and you get to see like the stuff before everybody else gets to see it.
Yeah, VIP exclusive look.
Yeah, which this episode of Bedtime Stories was fucking hilarious.
I know you don't want to spoil the Tim and Eric thing, but do I get a pass if I asked if one certain character was a part of the show as a special guest? The one guy, that guy. I want to meet that dad. I love that guy.
I'd say in a way he makes an appearance.
Right.
But that's all I'm going to say, in a way.
That's all I needed to hear. You know what? I do not advocate or let my kids watch that show, but they did walk in on me once, and it was that skit. And then, like, they were saying that for, like, a week. It's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank God that was the skit, because that's one of the safer skits of any of the Tim and Eric. Yeah, man, I'm super jealous you got to go. For real. That's really cool. Really cool. Now, would you say, like, certain acts don't live up to it live? Would this be one of the acts at the end of the day you would say definitely lived up to your hype you had going into it?
Oh yes, most definitely. I mean, we got the tickets back in March, so I've been excited ever since, and it definitely lived up to the hype. The only thing that getting seats was such a bitch, and we almost got really good seats, but then we had to refresh the browser, and next thing we know, we're up on the balcony. And we're like in the middle of like the world of man buns.
Just from a browser refresh? Like that's how fast tickets are going?
Yeah, that's how fast the tickets went. Great. And oh my God, dude. No, it sucked though, because at first like there was all these man buns, and luckily Tim Heidecker like looked around though, and he was just like, what the hell? Like he was just like, what man buns down? Like, and it was pretty hilarious, because it was just like, yes, thank you. Oh my fucking God. Because it was about to like, I just was so frustrated, because also, the man buns liked to tilt a lot and talk. So like you would move your head, and then the next thing you knew, you were being blocked again. And that wasn't their fault, but they did something about it.
I like how you're cutting out
there wasn't really
attached to the man buns. You're just blaming on the man buns. That's the best part. Like they're
I'm just blaming the man buns.
Like the humans, the parasite on the man bun or something.
you didn't know that? No, you didn't know the man bun lives off of the human and it just grows and controls their brain. That's at least what I thought, but I guess I can't defend a man bun now anymore with those people.
Now it's going to be a movie. Now someone's going to hear that.
Yeah.
It's going to be word to mouth. It's going to spread like those rumors, and that's going to be another movie. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. So definitely Tannen is recommending you guys check out Tim and Eric Live because you're not getting your spoilers here, apparently. Tannen's put his foot down, and that's that. But man, like I said, I'm jealous. Other than that, I mean, what you been playing and doing besides Tim and
Eric? Well, I'm on vacation. I actually played a good bit. Got a lot of PSP games in. Some games I can recommend, some games I can't. Game I will not recommend for PSP. What was that game where the aliens come in World War II and you know it's like an alternate universe? What the fuck is that game called? There's like 3 of them. It was for PS3. Oh, they had a PSP version of it though. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's like World War II era, but you never had a PS3?
I never had
with the aliens.
We were just talking about Uncharted off the air.
I can't even remember what it's called. Either way, the PSP version, don't play it. They took a first-person shooter and made it a third-person shooter. The controls are really clunky. I just was not down with it. And if I remember the title, eventually I'll scream it out and be like, "Oh yeah!" But
I'll go back and I'll have a picture of it correcting us like I do, and we always forget. So it's either you or me each week forget something, and then I just there's the picture of what we were talking about. So.
What's Dante's Inferno on PSP? That's a recommended PSP title.
No picture necessary. Thank you for taking work off my load.
Yeah, Dante's Inferno is a really good port. It's a straight up port of the PS3 and Xbox 360 version, just PSP graphics, but the gameplay and everything is the same. I mean, it's just downtoned. That's all, and it was really good. The sound effects were really good. Obscure for the PSP, or I should say the second obscure game. That's a pretty good one too. They did a good job.
Didn't you also on the Lost episode, we'll call it now 24, we tried last time, you played Crisis Core a little bit on your vacation?
Crisis Core, yes, and that game is excellent.
Nice. I haven't played that since like it first came out. It's been so long.
That game is good enough that like I have like the thing to be able to hook your PSP up to a TV.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to play it on TV instead of just my PSP.
It's definitely
like
top 3, top 5 PSP game, like exclusive. I would definitely say it's up there with the Elite for the PSP.
Yeah.
Especially you're a fan of this. You have to be a fan of the series though to appreciate that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. If you weren't a fan of Final Fantasy VII, why would you even play that game?
Or I've never played 7. Let me play the other spinoff first. That makes no sense. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of a prequel in a way, but just why? Why would you do that? Kind of kills the twist of what happens in 7. You know. The Lion War 2. That was another one that I played a little bit. It's just tactics with better cutscenes. But it was still really good.
A lot of PSP.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Need for Speed. Carbon was another good one.
Here's something I don't know if I ever asked you. Do you have a Vita?
No. I would like to get one, but I just still think they're expensive.
Yeah.
For my taste on them, and you know, like they don't hold up very well. I think the PSP is a better system.
Surprisingly, like
at least that's the way
the accounts of people I know, and I usually I value their opinion on gaming. From all accounts, it's like all positive with their Vitas. There's a lot of good fighters apparently, like 2D fighters. A lot of good port wise. But that's my main weariness of ever getting one is just the meat to the library.
Yeah.
I feel like you should do a lot of PSP podcasts, like solo, just giving tips on good grabs.
Just I mean, remember that's what I said though. I was like, because I have a huge PSP library that I've never touched, because I never really think, oh yeah, let me bust out this mobile gaming system. But you know, like since I was doing stuff and everything, and I still wanted to play games, I just took it with me. So
you could do it legit, dude. Not like my ass where I have to emulate half of my game reviews. You have like the copies. You do little vlogs in your reviews. You're the PSP guy.
Oh yeah,
you'd be the go-to PSP guy.
The PSP guy, yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, there's still a lot of games that I haven't. There's still a lot of games that I haven't played yet. It's just I was fortunate enough, and games are so cheap on that system now that like I'm just trying to gobble them up, man. I'm just I do. You're right. I want to be the PSP guy.
speaking of simple
So
and deliver, and what most consumers do enjoy, the Uncharted series. I've delved back into it after a couple months. I have the first game under my belt. As you guys know, the listen to the reset button. I never had a PS3 like we went into, and I've never played any of the games. So my cherry popping experience was on the remaster collection. And I like the first one. Our buddy Jim from Drink a Beer play a game, and he jokes to me all the time. He hates the gunplay on that game for some reason. He's like, yeah, the gunplay. And I totally see what he's saying. I don't think it's broken or terrible. It does get repetitive. But the second one, I'm in the middle of the second one now. Yeah. Three's going to have a lot to live up to. And you've told me yourself that three's not as good as two in the past.
I didn't find it to be as good. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's just two was like I feel like the opus out of that trilogy, whereas three, like three's a good game. It's better than the first one, but I mean, and then out of all three of them, I mean, then you have four. Four was, I mean, just four blew me away. But you got a while to get there. Like right now, you're still in the Drake trilogy, so. But four was a really good one too. But three, I mean, if I was to rank them, it would go 2, 4, 3, and then 1. In my
mini recap on him, I could save it for the future for an actual review, but I will say for Drake's Fortune, the first one, since I have that under my belt, I had a good time with it. I won't lie, especially like the water ski levels and shit. That was really fun. The puzzles weren't too cryptic. Sometimes the camera angles, but thankfully the remastered version, it was really smooth. Not too many complaints, obviously, except for, like we said, that mundane gunplay after a while. They're just like cover and blah blah blah. But
it's just cover, shoot, cover, shoot. Yep. Yeah. You knew that's what it was going to be. Like 2, they definitely liven it up a lot more. And I mean 3, they do the same thing. And 3's got a really good story. I mean, like there's a little bit more backstory than what's in this one. But this one, I mean, the story's solid. The gameplay's solid. There's really not a lot that you can argue with in that one. I think you're going to really be satisfied with it when you get to the end.
It is what it is. But that's what we've been playing this week, guys. Let us know what you've been playing in the comments down below. And we're so excited to talk about Tim and Eric, what we've been playing. Your PSP guy dream that we've now set in stone. Where can everyone check you out on Twitter real quick, Tannen?
You can check me out at Tannen's Bum at Twitter. You can also check us both out at Hibiki TM. Wait, hold on. You go ahead and do the rest of the plug. But you can check me out at Tannen's Bum at Twitter. I'm on there most of the time.
And as always, follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD and check out Hibiki TMD YouTube. Hit that subscribe and like button. Slam Pigs podcast, all that good stuff. And I'm now a co-host on Kayfabe Today podcast with our good buddy Broski from First Thing in the Morning on YouTube. Get over there, give him some love, hit subscribe. He does cool gaming videos and wrestling videos just like us. But yeah, Tannen, other than that, Walmart had pissed a lot of people off since we've recorded. I was actually, I did a little guest spot.
Well, since when does Walmart not piss a lot of people off, though?
When they're not getting chips for like 85 cents. Other than that, they're pissed off. I'm not going to lie. I know that, it's Walmart and we shouldn't give them our money, but it's really cheap fucking groceries around where I live. So that's our grocery place to go to. Other than that, I don't know if I would have and I'm not saying you guys that did it were wrong. I was in a guest spot on my buddy Rax's video on his channel, like a little cameo. He pre-ordered, he got screwed over with the email from Walmart with the cancellation. Like everybody knows now, unless you've been living under a rock. I'm not saying you're wrong to do it. Yes, you were excited. Nintendo are the masters of hype. But it's not hard to see why this happened. You know what I mean? With the demand for the NES Mini, I don't think Nintendo was prepared for that kind of demand for the NES. They keep promising the stock this time, Tannen, is going to be through the roof. They're not going to let us down. I'll believe it when I see it, and I'm pretty sure you're in the same mindset. But what do you think about this Walmart stuff and how people are reacting to it at the end of the day?
I mean, for them to pull the pre-orders because there's too many pre-orders, that just it makes sense to me. I mean, it is kind of Nintendo's fault for allowing the pre-orders in the first place. I don't think that pre-orders should be allowed at all on those systems. To be honest with you, I think they should be a straight retail sold system because of the way that Nintendo does it that way. You don't have all these scum fucks that are coming in, pre-ordering the shit out of them, and then reselling them on eBay for like, $2,000. Like, Nintendo doesn't see that money, but also I find it Nintendo's fault for not making the supply for the demand. It does not cost them that much fucking money to make those goddamn systems. Not much at all. So the fact that they're just kind of dicking around on it really is kind of saying a lot about them. I mean, all it is a special looking emulation machine. And, let's face it, you could make the same exact machine, hell, even make it, so that way, you could have a wireless controller and all the other good stuff with it without, Nintendo having a hand in it. But the thing is consumers don't get that. They see the old looking, this trip down memory lane with a small version of a system that they used to have, and they need it. And Nintendo realizes that.
A lot of these people, even our buddies I talk about, they have all these games, the originals. They have Supers still. They have Super Famicoms, but it's an officially licensed Nintendo product, and I think that's what it is that you're getting at, is why people they can't help it,
They just drool over it, and it's just like, why? Because, and the thing is, though, what I don't get is Nintendo, as I said, is not making any money off the resales. So I think that there should be a ban on the pre-orders on them. They need to send them to each store, and then that day, somebody can run in and do whatever. But also the store should limit, like, you should only be allowed to buy like 2 per person.
At least
so that way everybody gets a chance.
The UK part of eBay that handles this stuff, they have their shit together a little bit, and they're aware. They have now banned all these reseller types from with the SNES Classic on eBay now. That came out over the past week or so. It's good to see that. I wonder if it'll translate stateside. I'd like to think it would, but it is the U.S., the country we live in, Tannen, where greed is... No,
capitalism, baby.
They should just rename America capitalism. That's all you just do it. This point, but I mean, it's worse things have happened. I can't imagine if I did pre-order, I would have been pretty fucking pissed and salty about it, I guess, because just from the personal, like, it happened to me, I guess, at the end of the day more than anything. But yeah, I just want Nintendo to deliver on their fucking word at the end of the day. Even I'm probably not going to get one. If that happens, I'll be fine with it. Yeah, that's all I want out of this scenario, is just enough for everyone to be happy. Because when it's not, everyone ends up getting at each other's throats and makes us hostile with each other, like, just as gamers as general. And it's not a good morale you want to have with that kind of that demographic or base. Keep your retro fans happy as shit, because they're your diehards at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just like you picked up something yourself, not a little piece of plastic with a fucking fat USB drive in it. You got Friday the 13th finally, Tannen, since we recorded, and I'm so excited to hear your take on it. It's gotten all its patch work done. You got the patch. Everything was good to go when you popped it in for the first time. What did you think coming out of Friday the 13th?
It did not have all its patchwork done to it.
Oh, I thought you told me it did off air. It was already updated.
No. They had updated it, but it still does not fix everything. I love it. It's an amazing game. It's cool to get on. You get on your headset. You're communicating with it, because I mean it's online, all of it. One person's Jason. It's a 20-minute game sesh. One person is Jason. Everybody else are campers. The campers have to team up and either work together to try to fulfill these different goals to escape within 20 minutes, or they have to just survive and avoid Jason for 20 minutes. Jason has this set of abilities, such as being able to sense counselors in certain buildings. Also, sometimes you can teleport on the map. Just little things like that. But you can only use them, and then, you can't use them then again for a while. Also, there's one mode too where Jason can speed up a little bit and teleport, do all kinds of shit, which explains, maybe Jason could do that in the movie, because sometimes somebody be running, he's just walking, the next thing oh man, where'd he come from? Yeah. That's because he used his special perk, and he won't be able to use it again for another 5 minutes. But I mean, it is pretty awesome. Just the different things you can do. You set bear traps, different traps for him. Jason can set different traps. You have an array of weapons. But I mean, Jason's pretty much fucking invincible. And so don't fight him. Just don't fight him head on. I mean, I've talked one of the rounds that I played. I was trying to talk with the players. I was like, let's just get weapons and just constantly throw shit at Jason. All of us. Let's just go in turtle style and just attack the shit out of him. And there's just one guy that was like, we already tried that. It didn't fucking work, man. Like,
Now I want to see.
But anyway,
versus Jason.
Oh, dude, that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, though, I mean, the soundtrack's awesome. The graphics for what it is really good. It's definitely a great homage to the movies. However, man, yeah, they need to fucking work on that goddamn game. I'll be hiding in a closet or a tent, and then when I jump out, the camera angle will not change. It'll just be asphyxiated on the tent or the closet, and I'll be running around off screen. And that's how Jason caught me both times. It's because I can't fucking see. So I'm running around aimlessly, like to their point of view, but I can't see anything. I'm just looking at a fucking tent until I'm able to crawl back into the closet. If I don't get caught on a piece of furniture or something, the camera angle will not change when I come back out. It's a major glitch that they have to fucking fix with that is the camera angles. That is the main thing that I've run into now. Also, one thing they need to fix, there's always a host to each room. But however, though, say, like, the game's coming near to an end, like Jason's almost got everybody or something. Well, if the host leaves the game, it shuts down the whole server, and you don't get any of your experience points or anything. I don't think that's it. I think if the host fucking leaves, it should go on to somebody else that's in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just keep playing. It is bullshit. That is a major fucking bullshit thing.
How much does that happen with the drop-offs with the host?
That happened to me twice in a night. And it was always at the very end of the 20-minute round. Just some dick being a sore loser. So, yeah, look out for that. You do run into a lot of assholes on there, but for the most part, most of the people that I played with were pretty cool. There was this one kid that I started playing with. I didn't ask him how old he was, but he had to have been like 12, but he was really fucking good at the game. So, like, I just ran around with him for a good bit of it. He showed me where stuff was on the map and stuff. Obviously, this kid had been playing the game pretty hardcore since it came out. So,
my biggest question,
just pretty interesting there.
My biggest question, as far as your opinion on this game, atmosphere. Does this feel like you're watching Friday the 13th? That's the most thing I'm curious about. Does it come off
and it
like
almost
from the 80s too?
Oh yeah, most definitely. In an almost cartoony way, though. I mean, your characters aren't that detailed. They do kind of look like cartoon caricatures of themselves.
Yeah.
But still, no, the sound effects and everything. Like if Jason gets close, like the if he's close, that will get stronger as he's getting closer, and will go faster as he's getting closer. So, like, that really does build up the intensity. When Jason grabs you, too, there's a split second you can fight him, but if you don't fucking hit the button in that split fucking second, you're fucked. Like, he's got you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I mean, and like, it's just like shit in the trailer, too. The deaths are great. Like, there's just so much you can do to get killed, or how Jason can kill you. I mean, he can slam you into glass in a broken window, or throw you in a fireplace, or just split you in half, or just do all kinds of shit to you, impale you. I mean, like everything, like the atmosphere is definitely, and stuff that's around that you can use as tools. It is really great.
What's your final score, final grade, Friday the 13th, and would you recommend it to our listeners?
I would recommend it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 right now, but if they fix everything, I'd probably give it a 4 to a 4 out of 5. But they definitely need to fix that bullshit. It's a very fun game. It's very fun. And I think it's even more fun. It'd be even more fun to play it with friends. Like, you need to get this game, Travis, so we can play it together. But it's still fun if you get the right, room of strangers. Like, it's just like, remember how Left 4 Dead was? If you were playing with nothing but a bunch of fucking idiots, the game sucked. Yeah. But if you were playing with cool people that were actually willing to play the fucking game, it was awesome. So, I mean, so it's just like that. I mean, it can be hit and miss depending on the round. But yeah, they just need to fix those problems that I pointed out, because, nothing sucks more than getting kicked off because the host left the game, or, fucking, camera angles, dude. Like, because you only have one life to live in the 20-minute session. You just get that one life. You don't come back.
There you go.
Unless the only way the only way that you could possibly come back is if somebody activates the radio. They call in that hunter guy from the first movie, and he has one. Yeah, he has one shot with his shotgun, and it can help the kids like do their shit to escape. But he only lives once then too. I mean, so you really only live once for 20 minutes. So you got to make it count, and that's what's cool about it.
There you have it, guys. Friday 13th. Check it out. According to Tannen, I'm gonna check it. I'm just waiting for the price to drop a little bit, probably. Give it a little bit, but I'll get it. Future. Tannen, speaking of people pissing people off, I don't know a lot about this one, but I know you've been reading a lot about it. Pokemon Go and Niantic and all this stuff happening. What's up with this?
Man, Niantic is just pissing people off. Well, a couple weeks ago there was this Pokemon festival. It was like the Woodstock of Pokemon hunting, I guess. And I guess it ended up a lot like how Woodstock was, where, remember Woodstock was almost a complete unsuccess. Well, yeah, because, a lot of the people weren't even able to get into the fucking festival. Their shit was down. Their servers were down. The vendors sucked. And it's funny. One of my coworkers, their friend drove there, and I guess her shitty ass van, and the van broke down and she got stranded, but she still got to the festival. And then all this shit was just in chaos.
Were they charging?
So you had
this thing?
I don't even know. I don't know what they were charging, but I too much for what it was. Too much to fucking go hunt Pokemon when you could just go outside. Just go outside and hunt Pokemon.
Go in your backyard.
Like, what's the point of going to a damn festival?
I mean, I do get it because say what you want. Our buddy Broski, he's a hardcore Pokemon Go player. There are people that really love this game for mobile because of the interaction with people too is a big part of it. And I get that for people that are into it and you share with people. That is a cool element. I'd like to see that more in gaming. Anything that gets people off their ass and motivated to go get some vitamin D in the system, I'm all about it. But this is totally cash grabby, milking it to death, which is the thing that's just supposed to be made so simple. But with Niantic and people and companies like that, it's not surprising. The epitome of milking a fucking franchise is Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so it's like Niantic has all these tools to be able to milk something. They don't even know how to milk it. It's like having a cow and not knowing what to fucking do with it.
Oh, they used to know how to milk. They used to know how to milk the smoothest, velvetiest milk you could possibly taste in the heyday of Pokemon back in the day. They were like the kings of it,
Yeah. But now I don't know what's going on with them. But yeah, a lot of people are up in arms. And then I guess there's this new version also that people are fucking mad about. So yeah, Niantic, man, you gotta get your shit back to float because, granted, I guess your app is free. Do you pay for anything in Pokemon Go? Do you know? I don't play it.
I downloaded Pokemon Go. It came out last summer, 2016.
Last summer, yeah. And I downloaded it too, and then deleted it because it took up like a lot of space. And my phone fuck up, so
froze too.
I got rid of it.
And we don't have shitty phones, and it made our phones freeze. Plus, I got it mainly for my kids. This is before they have phones now. They didn't then, so I would just let them take it. And we go on walks, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I don't remember on like the premium shit you got to pay for. Maybe you guys know. Leave a comment down below if you pay for stuff. I know our buddy Crooked from Killsteel Gaming, who we've had on before, he plays a lot of Pokemon Go, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't surprise me. And you know what? Shout out to us, Tannen, because I am turning so many people on to Crazy Taxi on mobile that are loving it from listening to our episode. Like, oh my god,
nice.
Right. They're like, this is a great fucking port. Because I know we never talk about mobile gaming, so I just thought I'd throw it in there while we were. There was another thing going on. I know the new Dragon Quest came out in Japan already, and it did like insane numbers in like a couple days. I think around maybe the 2 million mark sold over there. I know that Dragon Quest is treated like Jesus Christ over there, pretty much. But like the rumors back in the day for like the one for SNES or NES were like they closed school down. Unfortunately, those rumors were true from Japan. I want them to be true, but it came out being false. But yeah, I thought that was a nice tidbit to throw in. I love the Dragon Quest series personally. I don't know if you've ever spent a lot of time on it. We've ever really talked about it a lot on here.
I played some of it. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It's not like my favorite RPG or nothing, but it's not like it's a bad game. But yeah, I mean Japan though, it's fucking huge. You're right about that. People go crazy over Dragon Quest.
I would say Dragon Quest could possibly be the most consistent RPG series of all time.
Hmm?
That's
I
never
believe
really
that.
fallen from grace too hard. Like, of course, it's had its ups and I really loved 8 on the PS2. I know a lot of Dragon Quest purists are gonna be like, "Oh, what is this?" Not? Yeah, it was amazing. That game blew my mind back in the day. But yeah, God, the news week this week, Tannen, just so you know.
Yeah, not a lot going on. Kirby's birthday was
It
this
is. It
week.
is the big Puffballs celebration. 25 years, Tannen.
25 years old. Happy birthday, you fucking puffy son of a bitch.
We were talking earlier off air. I remember the first ever Kirby commercial from Game Boy when I was a kid, like sprinkled in between like Fox Kids cartoons on Saturdays and stuff.
Who's Kirby? Behind the flabby facade, a physical powerhouse, a street fighter, a weapons expert. He's whatever the situation demands. In Kirby's Adventure, evil King Dedede's stolen Dreamland's dreams. Now Kirby's fighting to get them back, level by nightmarish level. That's Kirby. He's cute. Till you cross him, then he's one tough cream puff. Kirby's Adventure on NES.
Today with like a vacuum cleaner and no, Kirby just kept eating everyone in the commercial or something. But yeah, 25 years. I mean, 2 cents on Kirby real quick since it's slow. I mean, when you were younger in your youth, was Kirby a staple game, or is this kind of like, it's cool, but it's not one of my go-tos?
When I was younger, I didn't own a Game Boy. Like, I loved playing it.
Well, the later
but
incarnations
I didn't
too,
own.
I guess. I count.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed Kirby's Adventure on the NES most definitely. I liked that. I remember our big debacle. That was like last year, or the year before last, about Kirby being a baby's game.
Yeah, a certain someone.
The thing, yeah, the thing is I enjoy Kirby games. So yeah, I mean, Kirby wasn't too much of, he wasn't a staple as much of like Mario in our household, but definitely I did enjoy Kirby games and I did play them, and I didn't see where they were totally babies games, but I don't know. I thought about actually, I did see that they had discounted Kirby's games right now for the Wii U, and I thought about getting Dreamland 3 because that's one that I've never played. I've never played that one on the SNES.
I always stuck to my guns on that argument. I think it was last year. And it was Adam, guys. It's fucking Adam we're talking about. Hard to name.
Yeah, it was Adam.
It was right when Tannen came on as the third, and I think that was one of your first episodes ever. Is Kirby a baby game? And I would say no, because speak of Kirby's Adventure for the NES, when you turn into a wheel, those levels are a bitch. They're so fucking hard for me. They always have been. They always will be. Like sometimes Kirby gets hard. Like later, Kirby Superstar is not a hard game. None of it. Because it's a multi-packing game and it's a little dumbed down. The other one on Super Nintendo, one of the last games, Kirby's Dreamland 3, I believe. That's not really a hard game. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can die. At least you can die in like later entries where they just took out death completely, and then that's a baby game, kind of. But
yeah,
it's not a baby game until Epic Yarn, I would say.
Which I have that game actually for the Wii. I should play it. I've never played it.
Me too. I just never play it because it pissed me off. Because my expectations were too high for it. Because it's a beautiful game. It's just like you said, when you take out the element of being able to die and you can't die, it takes challenge out for someone like me, and it just makes it way less fun. Shout out to Kirby's Dream Course and Air Ride, two really good Kirby spin-off games.
Hey, speaking of yarn-based games, though, like we had talked about it earlier, I did pick up Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yes. Have you used any amiibos on it, by the way? I forgot to ask you that earlier. We were talking about it.
No, I haven't. I should, though. I should get that. I just haven't really gotten that far into it. I beat like the first world and I'm into the second world, but beautiful game, man. I mean, just the whole like, crochet yarn looking shit is so detailed, but at the end of the day, though, it's an easy fucking game. I mean, I'm going to give it that. I'd even say that Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, is way more of a challenge than what this game is. But it's still fun. I don't know. I'm having fun playing it. So, it's a nice casual game. Whatever. It is a baby's game, I guess, in a way. But
the dog element, where you have to use the dog as a power-up sometimes.
I like it. I mean, it's whatever. It just adds to the game, in my opinion. I mean, there's only so much that you could do with it because it's pretty much like, Yoshi's Island for N64.
Yeah.
but you know, it's just a yarn version of it, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So I mean, you know, it's just like the same game. I mean, I guess it's easier because you don't have lives. Yeah, I don't think there's a game over in that game, is
No,
there?
there's not.
Pretty sure there's
You
not.
can die, but it's infinite continues wherever you're at on the checkpoint.
Yeah. I mean, definitely you can die though, and it takes you back to the whole beginning of the level.
Yeah.
So there is that, like, there's your pain in the ass there for you, but that's all it is. You know, you don't get like a game over or having to worry about saving anything like that.
And
But
it's
yeah,
not like a
still, the whole
it's not a super quest of a game. It's not ultra long. There's only like
Yeah.
6 worlds, not a ton of levels, but the incentive for the replayability for me was all the available costumes you can get are crazy. It's just a matter of collecting all the secrets heading out the level. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good game too. It is very beautiful. One of the most best looking Wii U games. I'd say Super Mario 3D World is probably the most beautiful one graphically, besides like Xenoblade. Sorry, but yeah, this was a really gorgeous game. Man, all these game reviews this week dropping spontaneously.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
Well, you know what? I wonder what their next yarn-based game is. I wonder if Nintendo is going to keep up with that. You know, if we're going to have a yarn type game on the Switch,
Why am I
because it seems to
thinking
be a
there
theme
was
with
one
them.
at E3 or in January last year when they had that showcase? Like, I feel like I saw one, but it may be just like a 3DS version of this, is what it was.
Oh, really?
Probably. Yeah, I know it's on 3DS too now. But yeah, it's a good game.
That
I
makes
recommend that
sense.
too. I actually have that game too. So
Still fun stuff.
fun. Speaking of fun stuff, our games of the week were not fun stuff, Tannen, at all.
No, they weren't.
They were garbage.
We really
Purposely
punished
garbage.
ourselves. Really punished ourselves with this one. I'll go ahead and say fuck you for giving me toys on the SNES. I hate Joan Cusack, and I hate toys on the SNES. But I love Robin Williams. But like, it's just funny. Like this movie, like we were talking earlier, and you were like, right, like the landscapes they got right, man. The backgrounds in this movie were just fucking beautiful. And you know what? Same kind of goes for the game. The graphics weren't too bad. But the fucking gameplay sucked. The fucking gameplay sucked just as much as Joan Cusack. And
Wow.
you know what? Actually no. I'm sorry. That's insulting to the gameplay.
All I remember the game. All I think immediately when I think of toys for Super Nintendo, which was your game of the week, obviously, is blue grid floors. That's like that whole game is like a blue fucking grid staring at you.
Yeah. But you know what? Funny enough, though, like for its time, dude, the graphics are actually, in general, not half bad. I'm glad you didn't give me toys on the Game Boy, because I probably would have ripped my fucking hair out.
Does that exist? Please tell me it doesn't.
Oh, let's see here. Hold on. I can tell you.
God.
Wait, hold on. It looked like there was a Game Boy Color version of it, which is even better.
Yeah, you could see the blue grids on your Game Boy. Which, you know what? Thinking about it, it was the same exact floor in the factory, the blue grids. So that I guess, shout out to them.
That's what they were aiming for.
Yeah, but it encapsulates like 85% of the fucking screen, the whole game. That's all you see is it's an isometric view, Tannen, and it's not executed well. Like the premise was okay. I could think of a million movies in the 90s that could have deserved a video game before toys, I would say, beyond anything.
Yeah, most definitely. That movie didn't even really seem like it should have been really a kid's movie. You know what I mean? It really didn't seem that much. Like maybe like more of a young adult, like preteen movie.
The sex scene with fucking...
The sex scene was a major part, yeah. And so,
like I said, we went back with my kids last week. It doesn't hold up at all. It's garbage, but there is no warning in the pacing that's coming. By the way, they went to lunch in the cafeteria in the factory. And he takes her to her house. Next thing you know, he throws a bra on a robot. It's like, whoa.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say there's a bra on a robot there, a spy robot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jamie Foxx jerking off in the van, as we said in the past. But yeah. I'm sorry, man. Hopefully I do have a better game for you this week, I promise. But at the end of the day, what do you grade toys and why do you grade it that way?
Oh, it gets a 1. Because it's fucking terrible. It's Joan Cusack's version of life. It's like what goes on in her fucking brain, and I mean, dude, like it just. What was the point of the fucking game? Like, I just don't get it. Like, there's, the first level you're walking around, there's bombs and shit, and you're just like walking around with like a toy, and it's like you're trying to tend to the thing. But I mean, movie base wise though, like they did, like I'm like relooking at images here, like trying to see like and comparing it to images of the movie, and they did get they got the
Floor.
the factory down pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, not just the floor. They got like the giant duck thing. They got the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they got
conveyor.
the giant heads that like on the conveyors. Yeah, I mean, they at least got that part. But anyway, though, it still gets a 1. The game's just it's just a downright terrible game. And I when I was playing it too, and I was asking myself like, am I supposed to be like a robot version of Robin Williams? Am I a robot, or am I like a real man, or am I Joan Cusack? And I came to the conclusion I'm actually Joan Cusack, so I hate the game even more.
I think you are Robin Williams in the game. And he was just normal, and like his dad built her so he'd have a sibling to play with. So she was like,
yes, dad, but I know how the movie went, but if you see how the Avatar walks and stuff and acts, like he looks like a fucking robot. Like,
let's be honest, the character of the game looks like a woman. It does not look like Robin Williams to me.
It looks like fucking Joan Cusack. Like they got confused and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll make the robot girl the hero, and we'll make Joan Cusack so that we have to suffer even more and be Joan Cusack now." It's my God. It's just so sad.
It doesn't get any better on my end for what you gave me, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, this. Oh God, this is terrible.
This
is fucking terrible.
A lot of people don't know the full name of the game you gave me. It's a cult classic for the NES. I'm gonna read the full name and let's see if you can not crack a smile. Town and Country Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage.
Nice.
Tannen gave me TNC Surf Design. Fucking TNC Surf Design. That was my punishment. Yes, I played it as a kid. Yes, like California Games for the NES as a kid. I liked this game as a kid. And guess what? California Games and TNC Surf Design, they both fucking suck now. I hate them both. I don't know which one I hate more. Probably this one. But, yeah, you gave me TNC Surf Design. It came out like 89, 90, 88. Actually there's an actual company called Town and Country Surf Design, and this was their fucking cross-promotion video game, if you can believe it. And I think, how you...
Really?
Yeah. And you know what made this awesome to us as a kid were the characters, like the cat in the tuxedo and, like, the gorilla or something. I'm not sure if that was, like, the company's actual, like, mascots, or they came up with this just with, like, the game artist or whatever, but... That was really cool. It is, I'm not going to lie. As much as the playability sucks in this, the surfing, all of it, it is cool to be a cat in a tuxedo. Like you see in numerous reviews about it. It is funny. I got to go with the general consensus that cats in tuxedos do get a laugh. But this fucking game sucks. I don't know why I liked this as a kid. Maybe, like, we were so swept up in surfing's cool, brah, in the 90s. Maybe that was it. Tannen, a lot of memories with this as a kid.
Oh yeah, man! This was a game that I rented regularly from Farm and Family. If you remember that fucking place,
and you probably loved it as a kid.
It pissed me off, but I kept renting it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It would piss me off so much. That game would piss me the fuck off. But for some odd reason, it was like for a good 2 months every weekend. That's what I would rent. That's what I would pick up. Like, oh man, like I don't know. I don't know if it was going to get any better the second time around, and then the fourth time around. Because I knew what I was getting myself into. But yeah, but I really think it was just, the idea of being a surfing gorilla that I fucking wanted to do that. I wanted to be a surfing gorilla. And that's what had me. Was that. Sadly enough, as I'm looking through this, there's a sequel to that game?
I did not know that. Of course there is.
Yes, there's a sequel.
God.
Is it still TNC Surf Designs too? Thrilla's Safari is what it's called. Right. And yeah, it definitely looks like it's still surfer based.
I was picturing jungle for some reason.
Well, I don't know. As I'm watching the opening cutscene, Africa is just a giant island. And then you're actually the gameplay looks like it's a little bit better than the first one. Looking at it as I'm watching somebody else play it.
God. After that go around and going back to see what you created, I would like to think some screws were tightened on round 2. Fuck. But I would grade TNC Surf Design at the end of the day. I would not recommend this game. I would give it like a 4 out of 10 probably. For the nostalgia, probably getting it 3 of those points alone, and the 1 point for the gorilla and the fucking cat in the tuxedo. But 4 out of 10 TNC Surf Design. What is potentially could have been a really fun game. Just the controls, I think, just broke it for. Like the graphics were fine, the music.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It was the controls that got it. But that was standard back then.
It was just a clunky game.
Yep. But
I just can't believe that, like, this looks like it was a company that actually made Sunblock, and they made a video game. Which just goes to show that back in the 80s, everything could be a video game. Anything you wanted, if you just put your mind to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to create a tampon company, and you know what? It's the 80s. We're going to have a game, too.
I mean, you guys think Tannen's exaggerating, but if you go back to, like, the video game crash of 83 in that era, dog food companies had coincided games made for, like, dog food. They were porn Atari games, as we're all aware. There was so much they were getting away with back then, just games for nothing. But I think TNC Surf Design, we talk about it being so 90s and radical and all that shit, late 80s or 90s, whatever. Their company logo, as on the box art to this game, is a giant yin-yang. And what's more 90s than a fucking yin-yang? Tannen, that sums up TNC Surf Design. Tannen, next, this is episode 24, but as always, next week, we got to throw some games for our Game of the Weeks next week. I'm curious what you have up your sleeve.
I really didn't think it through because we punished each other so hard last time.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make it a little bit more simple. I want you to play. Let me see something here. Because I want you to have a little bit of fun.
Bless you, sir.
I want you to give me a review of. It's still going to be a shitty game, but it's not going to be as bad. I want a review of Terminator 2, the arcade game for SNES.
All right. You're right. There are worse games. There's definitely worse Terminator games.
I mean, have you ever played that game?
I had that game as a kid for Super Nintendo.
And minus the Super Scope?
I'd never had a Super Scope. yes, it was
neither did I.
The Super Scope. I know.
All right,
but I did play the shit out of it in the Pizza Hut on Wessel Boulevard that had the arcade game in it. I don't know if you remember when we were kids.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Pizza Hut had underrated arcades. I'm telling you. A lot of my arcade memories as a kid was at a Pizza Hut, not an actual arcade. But okay, cool pick for me, Tannen. I don't know if you have access to this game, but I don't think you've ever told me your thoughts on it, or if I even know you played this version of it. It's a little newer, so if you don't have the game, at least I can edit it out and I can redo it. Do you have Punch-Out for the Wii, the original Wii?
I don't.
I can let you borrow it.
Yeah, I was about to say I can still get access to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the concept's pretty simple. It's Punch-Out on the Wii.
Have you ever
I mean,
played
can it be that different? No, I haven't.
Oh, good.
I mean,
okay, I will let you borrow it then. I'll let you borrow
the last Punch-Out that I played was Super Punch-Out. That was the last one.
All right, nice. So that's your homework. And you know what? I'm telling you off the bat, it's the best motion control game in my opinion on the Wii. So I definitely gave you a good one. I'm excited to get your 2 cents on it. That was episode 24. We took nothing and made it into something. Literally, this may be the least news we've ever had to work with for an episode.
Yeah. It's dry. I mean, the fallout from E3 is kind of rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Comic-Con did happen, but did anything cool happen at Comic-Con?
We're not a comic show, so we don't really.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if there was any game announcements at Comic-Con. They pull that shit sometimes.
I'm just being snarky.
But,
I mean, Comic-Con is badass. I need to get to one someday. I know our buddy Kelly went to the San Diego Comic-Con, and our buddy Vonnie from Ian Ferguson's wife, she worked at the Comic-Con out there because they live in San Diego. So,
nice.
And she's promised to come on the show in the future. She works at a comic shop and she's an encyclopedia, and I think you and her would get it off well. So,
nice.
There you have it, Tannen. Before we get out of here, any last parting words you want to get in before everyone can check out where to find you once again, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, this week, tomorrow even, the Dark Tower movie comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm really biting my tongue on this.
You going?
So I'm going, and you're either gonna get a earful of me pissed, or you're gonna get an earful of me praising it. I mean, Grant, it's a sequel to the books. It takes place after the books.
Yeah.
So that was their segue into being able to Hollywoodize it. I mean, it's got Stephen King's blessing. He saw it and was like, yeah, whatever. It takes place after my books. Like, you know, like I never was going to make a sequel. So all the power, whatever. But I have a feeling that I'm going to be like this, you know, like, because I waited years for a Dark Tower movie, ever since they announced wanting to make one. And I have a feeling I'm just going to be really disappointed. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'll be talking about that next week. There's definitely.
If you ever had incentive to tune in, well, they don't know like I know about your love for the Dark Tower series. So there's my incentive for next week. Your review of that. I didn't know you were going to that, so that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to go see that movie.
And I may or may not have had hernial surgery before next episode, but if I do, hey, I'll still be here anyway. Maybe in a more relaxed state, but I'll trudge through. We'll try to get something done. But until then, check Tannen out at Tannen's Bum on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. Please, for God's sakes, for Tannen's heart. He can't take it anymore. Give it some love. We're growing. We're getting more views, I think, in the past week or two or whatever, on Facebook than ever, Tannen. I think it's
weird. It's starting to pick up. Starting to slowly. It's like a ball that just slowly rolls toward you.
Big ball of yarn. Yeah,
thank you, man. Big ball of yarn.
It's good to have you back. Good to be back after a hiatus. Thank you again for joining me, Tannen. Always a pleasure, man.
Always a pleasure.
And Chewy, damn it, you were a guest and you arrived at the last second. I'm cutting you out of next week. You're not getting a mulligan. Until next week, guys, this is for myself, Chewy, and Tannen. This has been the Reset Button, episode 24. Let's hit it!
Reset button.